What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And today we are here to talk about the Broncos free agency kind of preview. So today I want to start off with talking about the Broncos, their current free agents, their free agents in the team. And then I'll talk about the free agency on the open market, but they're free agents. So I kind of want to talk about a bit. DJ Jones, I would probably keep him. He's a serviceable defensive tackle. Like, he's okay. But if the Broncos move on from him, I'm not gonna be mad. But if he wants to come back, resign, like, he's gonna have to get obviously a way less money than $10 million. So yeah, we'll see what happens with DJ Jones. If we let him go, I'm not gonna be that mad. Zach Wilson, I wish we'd keep him, but I feel like he's gonna get out. I think he's gonna leave. I think a team's gonna offer him a deal, a chance to compete for a starting job. I think Zach Wilson probably gone, but I would love to have him come back as a backup. I think he's better than Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham, a free agent. Both are backup quarterbacks. Both are quarterbacks in this room are free agents behind Bo Nix. I would rather have Zach Wilson over Jarrett Stidham, but I think Jarrett Stidham is more likely to come back. I think Jarrett Stidham is definitely more likely to come back. But I feel like you can get a better backup quarterback than Jarrett Stidham. But if we do resign Jarrett Stidham, I'm not going to be mad. I understand if we do keep Stidham because he's been in this offense for a couple of years now. He knows the offense. But I feel like we're going to get a better backup. I feel like we can. But we'll see. We'll talk about the free agency quarterbacks and all that stuff. We're going to go by like positions that the Broncos needs here. Tremont Smith probably let go. Yeah, he's a good special teamer, whatever. Cody Barton, I would let go. I don't think he's that good. I think Javonte Williams here is definitely leaving. Broncos are going to get a running back probably via the draft or free agency. So I think Javonte is on his way out. Riley Dixon, I think they're going to keep him. He's a pretty good punter. Cernat, I think they'll keep him for special teams wise. Matt Parrott, probably let him go. Michael Burton, I think they'll keep. I think Sean Payton likes him as the fullback. Zach Cunningham, I think they let him walk. Quinn Bailey, probably keep him. Probably the practice squad. Long snapper Mitchell Ferboni, probably keep him. Lucas Kroll, I think they'll let him just walk. The Broncos are going to address tight end via the draft and free agency probably. Oh, he's not mine. He's not even a fucking UFA. They'll probably keep him then. I didn't realize there's fucking RFA, and yeah, these guys are probably coming back. Same with Jaquan McMillan, probably coming back. The last UFA down here, little Jordan Humphrey, definitely let his ass walk. He sucks. He fucking fumbles. He's not good. Broncos, you can get a better receiver than him. That's for fucking sure. So that's just my current thoughts on the Broncos. Their current free agents. Not a whole lot of big names for the Broncos, for them to resign, really. So, yeah, like I said, I'd rather have Zach Wilson as a backup quarterback to Jarrett Stidham, but I think Jarrett Stidham is more likely to come back than Zach Wilson. Hope I'm wrong. But yeah, let's look at all the free agency, the open market, all the teams here. So we're gonna look at the positions of the Broncos needs. I'm not gonna go through every position because the Broncos don't need every fucking position. So I'm going to start off with the quarterbacks because we need a backup quarterback, obviously. So we'll see. Obviously, two of the Broncos quarterbacks, Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham, are free agents. So we'll see if they bring one of them back. Like I said, I think Stidham is more likely to come back. But they could sign another backup just to get a better backup than Stidham. Because I just think Zach Wilson's leaving. I think a team will offer him a chance to get an opportunity to compete for a starting job. I feel like a team will. I think teams still believe Zach Wilson because he's only 25. He still has some potential, with a good coach maybe. I mean, look at Sam Darnold. Look at Sam Darnold right here. Sam Darnold was considered a fucking bust, and then he goes to Minnesota with O'Connell and Justin Jefferson in that offense, and now he could potentially get a freaking big payday here. So maybe Zach Wilson wants to follow the Sam Darnold footsteps here and, go to a team and prove it that you still got it, and then you can get paid the next offseason. So that's what Zach Wilson could potentially be doing. Looking at the quarterbacks here as a backup, Mariota I would not mind. Jameis Winston, obviously a target, the connection with Sean Payton. I would definitely not mind Jameis Winston as a backup. Yeah, these backups. Sheesh. Oh my God. There's not a whole lot of backup quarterbacks to look at. I mean, to me, you either pick one of Zach Wilson or Jarrett Stidham as a backup. And if you don't want none of them to come back, then maybe Jameis Winston or Marcus Mariota. So that's just pretty much a backup quarterback. Backup quarterback is important. I mean, it's not that important, but you have to have a reliable backup just in case your starter goes down. You know what I mean? All right, we're looking at running backs now because the Broncos are in need of a running back here. Aaron Jones, I would not mind him at all. I know he has some fumbling issues, but the guy gets over 1,000 yards. The guy is a beast. I would not mind him. It's not a long-term deal either. He's 30. So I think a 1 or 2 year deal for Aaron Jones would be pretty good. Mostert, and he's kind of older. I don't know about that. Najee Harris, I would not mind either. Najee Harris, I think he's a good back. He gets over 1,000 yards too. He's still 27, but he's about to turn 27, so he's still pretty young. AJ Dillon, I wouldn't mind, I guess. Nick Chubb, I wouldn't mind either, but the injuries are catching up with Nick Chubb, so I don't know about that. J.K. Dobbins, I would not mind. He had a hell of a year with the Chargers, but he has a injury history. He can't play a whole fucking season. I would not mind this guy right here, Rico Doyle from the Cowboys. I think he had an underrated year last year with the Cowboys. But yeah, not a whole lot of great options here. There's a couple good names out there for the Broncos to look at. If they don't address running back in the free agency market, they'll definitely be taking a running back via the first couple rounds of the draft because the Broncos just have a bunch of question marks in the running back room right now. They have freaking Audric Estime and Joel McLaughlin, Blake Watson. Like he's not gonna do anything really special. So the Broncos need a true number one running back. They could potentially sign a free agency guy and draft one still. So they could potentially add 2 running backs this offseason in that room. But like I said, we'll see, man. Like they got moves to make. Got to get a running back. Got to get a run game for Bo Nix because last year was just horrendous. We couldn't have fucking run the ball worth shit. It was bad. But yeah, it's the running backs. Not looking at full backs. Not looking at fucking fullbacks. Receiver. Broncos could be in the market for a veteran receiver to pair along Cortland Sutton. We have a couple of young guys like Mims and Franklin and Vele. But in my opinion, the Broncos need more of a veteran guy alongside of Cortland Sutton. And it's nothing against Mims or Franklin or Vele. I think the Broncos need a more prove-it guy. I'm not saying Franklin or Vele can't prove me wrong, but until otherwise, they're unproven. They're question marks. You can't, in my opinion, you got to give Bo Nix as much weapons as possible. You don't want him struggling because his weapons are terrible when you have a chance to improve your team in the offseason. But I do like Mims. Mims he had a good year last year. He's underrated. Like Mims a lot. Sutton's a good receiver. Vele, he had some good games there. Franklin, not the greatest rookie season. But I'm not giving up on Troy Franklin. I think he still has some potential. I still think he has very much potential with Bo Nix, obviously the Oregon connection. I'm not giving up on those guys. I just feel like the Broncos need to add at least one receiver in this room just to improve it a little bit. One name that's not on here because he's still in the Rams. Cooper Kupp could be an option. He could be released or traded by the Rams. Sounds like that's going to happen. I would not mind Cooper Kupp, I guess. He does have injury history, and I don't want to pay all the money. So if the Rams are willing to eat majority of the money, then I'm definitely not mind it. But yeah. Oh, and today I forgot to mention today, T. Higgins got the franchise tagged by the Bengals, so it looks like he'd be there unless they trade him. I kind of knew that the T. Higgins thing was not going to happen because T. Higgins was going to demand a lot of money, and the Broncos weren't going to pay all that money for T. Higgins. Stephon Diggs, probably not. Keenan Allen, Murray Cooper. Murray Cooper interests me a little bit. Chris Godwin, he definitely is probably the best one on here. I feel like I would definitely want Chris Godwin. I know he come off an injury last year, but he really no other than that, he stays pretty healthy besides that one injury. I think that'd be a great addition for the Broncos. Chris Godwin. Brandon Cooks, maybe he has a little familiarity. Like he knows Sean Payton's. I think he played for the Saints 1 year. I think Sean Payton knows Brandon Cooks. Deontay Johnson, hell no. The guy's been like he's been on like 4 teams the past year. Hell no. Hopkins, no. Mike Williams, no. Darius Slayton right here. This is an intriguing option right here. Darius Slayton. I think this would be a very underrated move. Obviously, he's not the freaking flashiest name. He's not a name that a lot of people aren't talking about besides a couple people, I feel like. But Darius Slayton for the Giants, he's a pretty underrated receiver in my opinion. I would definitely not mind Darius Slayton with the Broncos at all. But yeah, there's a couple good names out there for the Broncos. Like, there's still a draft too. Like, just because they don't sign the free agency, don't mean they're gonna not address the position. There's still the draft. But yeah, there's some options out there for the Broncos. I feel like. All right, so let's look at tight ends now. Definitely a position the Broncos are going to need to address. All right, so there's a couple good names out there I like. Tyler Conklin, I would not mind. He's not bad. Juwan Johnson's been linked to the Broncos for a while now. I keep seeing Broncos Twitter talking about Juwan Johnson, the tight end from the Saints. Obviously, the Saints connection there. He's probably a big target for the Broncos free agency board. With the Oregon, I would not mind him at all. Juwan Johnson, Gerald Everett, Mo Alley Cox, Austin Hooper, Zach Ertz had a really good year, even though we all thought he's washed. He had a good year at Washington. I would not mind him actually. I know he's older, and Mike Gesicki, I would not mind him either. He had a pretty underrated year with the Bengals last year. Not gonna lie, Mike Gesicki. So there's a couple good tight end free agency options. I think the Broncos, obviously the number one probably guy Broncos country is talking about is probably Juwan Johnson. He's been linked to the Broncos. Obviously the Saints connection, like I said. There's a couple good names out there for the Broncos to address. So yeah, let's move on. I don't think they're going to sign any offensive linemen. They're pretty good there. Edge, pretty good. D-line, potentially. They're not going to get defensive end. Probably, let's look at defensive tackles. They could potentially sign a defensive tackle here. Obviously, DJ Jones is a question mark. If they keep him, then they're probably not going to sign any more defensive tackles. They could still draft one. Just because they signed DJ Jones to a cheap deal, they could potentially still address defensive tackle in the draft. I mean, like, they're not going to sign 2 defensive tackles here. But Shelton Rankins, I wouldn't mind, but not that $12 million though. But BJ Hill, Jerry Tillery, Linval Joseph, Sebastian Joseph, Ken Law. He was a top pick back of the Niners. Derek Netty for the Chiefs. Let's see these names. Mike Pennell. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not saying that. That's probably not. I don't know if they could just re-sign DJ Jones, and yeah, we'll see. That's a position they could target defensive tackle. That's an underrated position where the Broncos could use some help. Linebackers, outside linebackers, pretty good with Benito and Cooper and Jonah Ellis. Inside linebackers definitely a place where the Broncos are. I saw a Mike Kliss put out that the Broncos' biggest free agency signing is probably going to come from the middle linebacker position, the inside linebackers position. So it sounds like the Broncos are going to be spending some money at linebacker, middle linebacker, inside linebacker. So they could potentially get a big free agency here. Wait, what? Fuck. All right, my bad. I feel like I'm missing some free agents on here. Where the hell's Nick Bolton? Why is he not on here? What? I don't get that. Why is Nick Bolton not on here? He's a fucking free agent. Let's get linebacker then. Fucking. Oh, Dre Greenlaw. He's a stud. I would not mind him. I see Broncos country talk about him a lot. Greenlaw from the Niners, potentially being a target. Robert Sablaine from the Raiders. Zach Bond's been a target here for the Broncos, I heard, because, he's been the Saints with Sean Payton. Zach Bond, he had a hell of a year at the Eagles. Willie Gay, former Chief with the Saints, is a target, I heard. Why is Nick Bolton not on here? Oh, there he is, finally, my God. Nick Bolton, he's a stud linebacker from the Chiefs, only 25 years old, but he's about to turn 25. So, yeah, I think the Broncos will definitely sign a linebacker in free agency, middle linebacker. It's a need. They could potentially be cutting Alex Singleton. And Cody Barton's a free agent. So we could see a whole new shakeup in that middle linebacker room. And George Paton and Sean Payton both said Drew Sanders will be moving back to middle linebacker, inside linebacker next season. That's good news because that's his normal position. He's not a fucking edge rusher. I don't know why they do that. They did the same thing with Baron Browning. They put him at fucking edge when he's a middle linebacker. Like, I just don't understand why they do that. They fucking ruined that shit. But I'm glad they realized Drew Sanders is a middle linebacker, inside guy. So I'm glad they freaking finally realized that. All right, so we're going to look at secondary now. Cornerback, they're not going to sign a corner. Pretty set there with Riley Moss and Zertan. McMillan probably coming back to be the slot guy. You got Chris Abrams-Drain to be in the backup. He's pretty good. I like him from Mizzou. Safety, we're talking about safety because they're going to be in the market for a safety. Looks like look at free safety here. Brandon Jones, pretty good player. So I think Brandon Jones obviously will be back with the Broncos. Brandon Jones had a pretty good year. But it sounds like they're going to be getting a safety because PJ Locke had a very underwhelming year. And looks like that's another guy. PJ Locke is a guy the Broncos may be cutting. Alex Singleton and PJ Locke are guys the Broncos may be cutting here soon. So, looking at this list for free safety, Javon Holland, obviously a big name. I would not mind him at all. He used to be, and Brandon Jones used to be teammates with him, I believe. So, could be reuniting. Javon Holland, I would not mind at all. He's 25 years old. Cameron Bynum from the Vikings, I would not mind him either. He's only 26 too. So, yeah, those two probably the biggest safety targets. Javon Holland and Cameron Bynum. Let's look at some strong safeties now. I think we're pretty set there, though. Yeah, I think we're good with Brandon Jones. I believe Brandon Jones is a strong safety, if I'm mistaken. Let me look it up real quick. I don't look like being a damn idiot here. But, yeah, I just want to do this free agency target video for the Broncos, kind of preview, because the legal tampering period starts next Monday. Teams can negotiate on the free agency. And obviously everything becomes official next Wednesday, the new league year. But overall, pretty much free agency starts next Monday because teams can negotiate with agents and teams, and they can sign. But this won't be official till that Wednesday. So people always get confused. All right, I'm just looking at something real quick. Let me see if I got it right. Yeah, I got it right. Yeah. I don't know if I said it right, but yeah, Brandon Jones is a strong safety. Yeah, Brandon Jones is a strong safety. And PJ Locke is a free safety, so yeah. So yeah, the Broncos need to get a free safety. Yeah, I'm looking the right position now. But yeah, Javon Holland and Cam Bynum would probably be the top targets here for the Broncos and the free safety market. Both guys are pretty young too. Javon Holland, 25, and then Cameron Bynum is 26, almost 27. So yeah, the Broncos will address safety. So the positions the Broncos probably going to address are running back, receiver, tight end, defensive tackle, middle linebacker, and a safety. So look out for those positions for the Broncos and free agency. Obviously, you can't fill every hole in free agency. You still have the draft. So don't expect the Broncos to fill every position because there's going to be some positions where the Broncos don't make a move at, and that's fine. They're going to address that in the draft. But look out for those positions, like I said. Backup quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, defensive tackle, middle linebacker, and safety. Look out for those positions for the Broncos. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment, like, and subscribe for more content, guys. And let me know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe, and who do you want the Broncos to sign in free agency? Who do you want the Broncos to trade for? Let me know down below. I'm curious what you guys feeling. And until next time, guys, I am out, and I hope you guys have a good night. And let's go Broncos. Peace out, y'all. And I'll see you guys later. Go Broncos. Peace.